Monday night at 8 p.m., which means it's time for another episode of FM Rager. I'm your host, Connor Clifton, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Ned Gale. Ned, how the heck are you?
Damn, I'm doing great. This music's super
What's going
loud.
on? We haven't done the show in 2 weeks. Are we adjusting? Did something update?
Oh, no, I fucked with the mixer at the show last week, and I forgot that I
that's
touch
right.
the mixer once a year.
Well, that leads to my next question. Ned, how has your freaking last 2 weeks been? We've done a lot.
Yeah. How has it been? Man, it's been good.
We took the liberty of making some notes.
We wrote some notes, yeah.
The big things that we did. So you and I both went to Austin, Texas in the past 2 weeks.
Separate occasions.
I went to go see Bikini Kill.
Nice.
And what did you do?
I just went to Austin to have myself a good time. I ate some food, drank some beer, went to Barton Springs, did the whole dang Austin thing.
Okay.
It was good. It was good to get a good dip.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't gone swimming in Austin.
Have you gone swimming at all this summer?
No.
It is officially summer, I think. When does summer
I think it's June
officially start?
22nd.
No, it starts in May, right?
No. I don't believe so.
When does summer start on Google? Let's just figure this out right now.
June 21st.
Shit.
I was off by a day.
Well, okay.
Damn. Well, it's closer than you.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. And then another big thing that happened. I saw Dr.
This one's for you.
Great. Thanks.
It came up when I searched remarkable on the stock photo website.
Another big thing that I did was I got to see Doctor Strange
Wow.
with several friends of the show. Yep. One of the biggest things to happen between the two of us in the past 2 weeks was my ability to see a movie. But
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's-
We all wish that you were there just because Sam Raimi directed it and
My homie. Sorry, I got something directly in my eye.
it's your eyeballs.
Oh. Well, that actually solves everything. Okay, we're good. We're alive. Yeah.
Wait, fuck, you guys were both so wrong. Oh, about the summer thing. Yeah, we wish you were
Equally
there.
off.
You know, it's the whole crew that usually goes to this. Antoine Skelton, Cody, Billy joined us.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
The
Each
rest of the
Each
people.
of our personalities as diverse as the cast of the
Oh yeah,
MCU.
yeah. Wait, if you so the people who went and saw it, which characters are you each?
I don't. They're all the fucking same. They're all like geniuses who think they're the heroes of their own story.
Oh, that's me. That's my character. Yeah.
That's what I was
So
saying.
which one is that?
Ant-Man.
Marvelous Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man. And then the big thing that we did, boy, oh boy, we've been promoting it long enough, and we finally got to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we pulled off Neo Benchy without a hitch.
It's back. It's great. It was fun.
We had a really nice time. All the performers were fantastic. We were really grateful to everybody who came out and everyone who supported us along the way and who stuck around the bar and supported PJ. I know he really appreciated it. Yeah, he told us we were back. Welcome back anytime, any Wednesday or Thursday. We can always do a show there. So, hey, if you want to put on a live show or just do something weird, PJ's Wednesday and Thursday. He needs people in there. He needs to keep that bar alive. It's the best bar in Montrose as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, please God, keep that bar alive. We need it.
Yeah. It's great. We finally got to talk to the guy who watches all the cars in the parking lot. His name was David. He's quite a character. He just sits and drinks and watches all the cars and yells at all the homeless people who walk by.
It felt very good.
I'm not really selling them.
when he came upstairs, he saw we had all this chairs set up, and he's like, "Boy, I hope," referring to the number of chairs we set up.
Yeah, he was real mysterious. He would say things just begging us to ask him to finish that sentence or go on. What are you saying?
But it felt good to later spit in his face and kick dirt in his face and say, "We brought that many people in."
Oh yeah, we had
eat my butt. No, just kidding. He did not stick around for the show.
We had a lot of people. We weren't able to say this while in our 2 week absence, but the show, we were donating proceeds from the show to Lilith Fund, and with everyone's help, we were able to raise $237. So thank you all very much for showing up and doing your part to help women's reproductive health in Texas. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the next Neo Benchy, June 9th.
Ooh.
Day before your birthday, day before
Yeah.
610 day.
Yeah, big old 610 day.
I can't wait to wake up and drive around 610.
y'all, you're not a true Houstonite unless you celebrate 610 Day by going clockwise or counterclockwise
That's right.
or both around 610.
Yeah.
You gotta see your city.
You gotta, yeah. It's always fun to rediscover parts of the city that you forgot existed. There's a whole stretch of 610 that I just never go around. FOD Junior had me rolling.
Faces of Death Jr. They're talking about Necromancy's Benchy.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, very solid.
You and Billy did a good one too. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what else has been up, man?
What else have we been doing? We started playing Call of Duty again with the homies.
That's right. Godzilla and King Kong have officially arrived at Caldera Island on Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone.
Suddenly, all these viewers hopping into the thing, like, oh shit, they're talking about Call of Duty.
You got to say the SEO stuff that
Yeah,
gets people coming in. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is such a cash grab.
Yeah, you have to fight Godzilla, or you have to fight King Kong, or you have to worse fight each other.
I gotta say,
enemies are everywhere.
I've gone on record on this show before saying that whatever map Warzone is stationed in is the country they're trying to get us into, like, get the American public ready to go to war with. So far, there's been general Eastern European countries, which we're there now, and then general Asian countries, and that really went off during the height of the pandemic. And now Godzilla and King Kong are in there. I don't know what the fuck's coming.
Yeah, they're prepping us for a Pacific Rim style situation. Those of you who are good at VR maybe want to try to start dodging the draft if you can.
Yeah,
unless you want to be in the mech.
We've got mechs and kaijus coming, and
we are going to war with Skull Island. We are invading Skull Island.
yeah, we spent too much time working on Space Force, and we need to get some kind of mech force going on. The United States Mech Force. I think it's got a nice ring to it.
Didn't Japan build a mech?
We did a Neo Benchion where Japan and America both built mechs, and Japan absolutely obliterated the United States in the competition in one punch. Yeah, they just knocked the
I thought the
US
American one did that.
No.
No.
No, Japan totally creamed us.
America versus
I believe so.
Japan robot.
Doesn't
fight.
Antifa have a mech army? Hey, believe it on what fake news you're reading, bud. Yeah, Megabots versus Soidobashi or something.
Wait, I want to see it because I remember it was one punch and it was very good.
We laughed and laughed because it was a 90-minute event and they spent an hour just telling you about the robots.
Can you guys see this? Okay. Wait, I just want to see the point of contact. Oh, that guy was cool.
Here we go. There he goes. No. That's Japan absolutely obliterating America in the giant robot fight.
Shit! Oh my god.
And imagine you're watching over an hour of footage trying to get you hyped as hell for this giant robot duel, and then that happens immediately. It was very fun.
How are you guys feeling? Like dumbasses, ma'am.
Completely emasculated.
Good God.
All right. Let's see. We got a couple minutes before we need to bring on our guest. We talked about the greatest robot jocks. You mean to tell me top-heavy bipedal machines are easily toppled?
Look, where were you in the build? Okay, you seem real smart right now, but we all hung out in that garage. We let that mech get built. Okay, we thought it was a great idea.
I would really, really love to do some episodes or just something, or maybe even in our free time. We don't have to fucking make it content, but
oh shit,
of just going through all the different mechs. Because we're into mech anime. We like mech shit. Mechs are cool.
You want to rate the mechs?
Yeah, because Brenda's comment has me thinking, like, I think Armored Vodoms was the sturdiest, lower center of gravity kind of mech. That, like, bulky kind of thing.
Those are the ones you could also die the easiest in. If I recall, the big point of the show is that it's, like, super easy to die in a Vodom.
Oh, okay. Wow, never mind.
Yeah. But I think that just means they have soft little centers.
Oh, okay.
No, we should
tickle them in
rate all
their
the
bellies.
mechs.
They just fall apart.
Yeah. We should rate all the mechs. But I have to warn you, there's some bias here. All my exes fly in mexes.
I'm not.
Could you
that.
imagine one of your ex exes is just like they're like a mech pilot, and you're like, yeah.
Oh,
fuck.
I thought
Yeah,
like a
deal with
giant mech, and it's like,
they all.
hey, who's this new slut you're hanging out with?
You mean like a Power Ranger Voltron
Yeah,
situation?
you're
where
just like dating a mech.
wow, hey, that'd be kind of cool.
I could do it.
Yeah, I could do it.
I don't know.
I'm actually super open-minded. I could date a mech.
All right, we've done this enough. My family's waiting. Let's get this guest on.
All right, we'll be right back.
And we're back. Hi, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. Our guest today, I can't tell you how excited I am. They are a reporter. They're a writer. They're my brother. Please give a warm welcome to Nathan McDermott. Hey, Nathan.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here. I'm on the edge of my seat. How are y'all?
Well, I'm doing good.
Good. Also edging on our seats.
It's hot as hell.
I was going to chastise you, Connor, for not knowing the first day of summer. It's Megan's birthday. It's our sister's birthday. How I remember.
Well, that's the thing. I guess that's how I remember it.
Get out of this one.
That's the thing. And that is how I remember it. But I guess I thought her birthday was on the 22nd, and egg on my face. Well, I only know, to be fair, I remember everyone's birthdays because they're passwords to our streaming services.
I don't tell people that. They're going to log in and steal my Netflix.
Finally, the watch list I've been waiting for.
Whatever. Half the chat's getting on our streaming services anyway. Who cares? Nathan, so we did talk to you a little bit about what we wanted to talk to you about for the bulk of the interview, but we are primarily a party show, and we ask people party questions. So I did want to ask you some stuff about partying, and the first one would be, do you remember the first party you ever attended? It could be one that was hosted for you, one that you hosted. It could go as far back as like a child's party, whichever.
So, yeah, I get to the earliest. Well, I'm thinking of like a birthday party when I was like 5. Does that count?
Yeah.
Or should I do like a grown-up party?
I mean,
I can answer both of them.
I felt like a grown-up at 5, to be honest.
Give us stories from both.
I remember, God, maybe I was like 4. It was, I want to say it was my birthday party, but I actually think it might have been Darby. He's our older brother.
Shout out to Darby.
Shout out to Darby. And just what I remember about it is my grandmother's mother, my great-grandmother, she must have been late 80s at the time. One thing that sticks out to me is she had a very, very like orange and black garish kind of like Catwoman kind of costume. Is like a face mask. It's almost kind of like a Mardi Gras mask with like ears and stuff. It wasn't an officially licensed DC Comics Catwoman. And I don't remember a lot from the party, but I do remember great grandma dressed up as a Catwoman. And yeah, that's one of the earliest memories of a party I have.
Was that scary to you to have her dressed up, or was it like a delightful thing?
At the time, I remember just thinking that to the extent that I was cognizant, thinking it was just really kind of strange and bizarre.
Yeah.
And absurd because it was not, because she was kind of curmudgeonly old, very small, wrinkly, mid to late 80s-year-old woman. God rest her soul.
I only say that because as a kid, I was like not afraid of masks up until like I think I was like 7. Mm-hmm. And then one day someone put on a mask and I was like, gah! And like for like a year, I was just like afraid of masks. I don't know what part of my development just made me like not understand what masks were.
Is that why are you an anti-masker now because of that childhood trauma?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I just remember it was probably one of the earliest memories I have, or being aware of being like, oh wow, people can be different than you think. What image you have of them in your mind is. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I thought of that so existentially back then, but I do remember thinking it just at the time being like, oh, this is weird. She doesn't normally look like this. Like, this is very different than the image of my great grandmother I had in my mind. So that's my earliest party.
It's like seeing your parent drunk for the first time, and you're like, whoa, they're a little different today. Or
And
at
that's a
least
question I
remembering
can't
it.
answer. I'm like, I don't know when the first time I saw my parents drunk, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it was at a young age.
All right. So, what about the adult party? Do you have any cool stories from that one?
Yeah, this certainly not the first party I've been to as an adult, but it's been the first like the party scene in New York that I've explored a lot since then. Uh, it was a few years ago, probably 6 years ago. One of my roommates, he was some British guy. We only lived together for like 6 or 8 months, and he was really, really into techno. Like he went to raves like once a week, and I, up until that point, had never been to a rave, never been to any kind of big unsa 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 party, as I describe it.
Yeah.
I'd just been to like house parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he invited me once. He's like, "Hey, you should like, really come." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. It sounds kind of intimidating." It didn't seem my vibe at all. It was like a rave at some basement, and it started at midnight.
Ugh.
Jesus.
God.
Gee Louise.
Well, I think the doors open at 11, but he's like, "Don't get there that early."
Yeah, you don't want to be the first on the floor at that kind of party.
Yeah, exactly. And so I did wind up going there, and he was there before me, and I spent the first 45 minutes on my phone just texting him manically, being like, "Hey, there's no real reception." I was like, "Where are you?" Like, what? Just like, very dark, low lighting, and and I was stone cold sober, and I was like, "Hey, where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" And like every 10 minutes or so, he'd be like, "Oh, hey man, sorry, I have bad reception, but I just saw this. I'm over here." So then I'd go over there and couldn't find him. And eventually, 45 minutes later, I found him. And so that was very stressful. But then then he gave me some drugs, and that was the first time I did Molly, and it really made the party be a lot more fun as time went on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone I talked to recently was just like, yeah, my girlfriend and I, we did Molly for the first time, and now we're just like really into EDM. like it flipped the switch for them officially. And they're like, yeah, we just go to music festivals every 2 months, go do the EDM thing. It's a new part of our life.
They usually do go hand in hand, I found.
Yeah.
But the rest of the party was actually very, it definitely helped that I was on drugs. But as somebody who didn't do a lot of drugs beforehand,
Yeah.
it was also a very interesting experience because I didn't take a ton. And so my only familiarity with drugs was just like weed and alcohol. And so this felt very different and kind of a bit more clear-headed or in control or whatever you want to call it. And just kind of more chill and ecstatic, I guess, as they say. Yeah, and it was actually a really fun time. And I was very, very, very glad. God, I forget that roommate's name. But I'm very glad he invited me because it was really cool. I met lots of really nice people, and everybody there was just like really friendly and nice. And since then, I've been to kind of some similar parties, maybe not as intense, some slightly more intense. But no, so I'm always kind of pretty grateful for that because yeah, it was just like a new experience that I never would have really had the balls to do on my own. Just like, I'm going to go to this place. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
I found it really interesting that you started going to all these parties because growing up, I think our oldest brother was the only one who actually enjoyed parties. I don't think any of us actually enjoyed parties or partying. And so I don't necessarily want to say that we were straight-laced kids, but we weren't like...
We were very straight-laced kids. I'll say I was a very straight-laced kid.
You were a straight-laced kid. I was a good kid. The worst thing I did was bring home very, very bad grades. And maybe I was
You were a bit less straight-laced than me.
Yes. But we were all good kids, all right. Hey, if our parents are in the chat, sound off. Let us know. But I just thought it was interesting. Like, I don't know if you went to any parties in high school. I only went to a couple. Didn't have a good... Yeah. And so I thought it was really interesting to see you guys starting to get really involved in... I shouldn't say really involved, but you were going to parties and posting about them online. And one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you about all this is that... So you came out to the family I believe in 2011.
I think it was 2012 actually.
2012.
I was pretty
Okay.
old.
2012.
24.
So
Christmas break.
you came out in 2012. I believe you were living in DC at the time.
Yes.
Yes. And over the years since then, I've just seen this like very, I'll say, beautiful transformation of your personality in terms of like how you carry yourself, how you interact with other people. And I started to really think about how little I know about the gay party scene. I mean, we only know a few people down here who.
That was your first takeaway. You're like, look at Nathan. He's becoming himself. God, I don't know anything about parties.
That's not my takeaway. It was, wow, Nathan seems to have really found a place for himself in the New York gay party scene that is helping him kind of, I don't even want to say come to terms. Maybe you want to say come to terms, but like discover who he is and be comfortable with who he is. And so it's really strange. We were all these anxious little straight-laced kids, but you really seem to have found a way for partying to help you like come into your own. And I just wanted to talk to you about that and how that's been for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fairly astute observation.
Great.
Yes, I'd say fairly. Mostly because I've also met lots of people who party way more than me. And
you found your limit. Yeah.
Yes. I've definitely found my limit. Which is a very nice thing to discover about yourself. And yeah, I think I don't know if I would necessarily say that maybe I have. I was gonna say I don't know if I'd say I've become like a New York City party gay, because I've met New York City party gays and they really party a lot. Like some people go out all the fucking time. Like my current roommate, he goes out like maybe like once a week or a couple times a week. And though he has pretty good control of himself, it doesn't seem like manic or crazy or anything. And my architect roommate who invited me to that rave, he was an architect. He worked like 60 hours a week or 70 hours a week, like crazy hours. And so he went out like once a week, which kind of blew my mind, because I was like, I don't think I could ever do that, because that just sounds exhausting. But it has been a fun little growth development period in my life. Because I didn't know that I would be interested in this type of thing, honestly. And just to be clear, not all the time do I do drugs. And there's like a huge variety of parties, from like really kind of more like ravey, techno-y ones, to more like kind of like more pop ones, which is kind of like a tea party, like a tea dance, which is kind of like an afternoon chill, mostly just kind of like drinking and hanging out with friends and like dancing in the daylight type of parties. And kind of everything in between. And because I'm a pretty, like you, Connor, like you alluded to, I'm pretty stressful. I think all of us in our family kind of like anxious, overthinking things a lot. And so it's been kind of nice to discover
drugs.
Like,
yes.
That does help. But just like honestly, just like dancing. Like I really like dancing. I discovered I really like dancing. Not very good at it, but I really do like it. Where you can just kind of like zone out and just kind of like,
get that release.
Just stop thinking for a couple of hours and just kind of like, get out all out of your system and stuff. And it's kind of like a nice escape to and like, well, I was going to say, and you meet lots of cool people, but that's not true. Sometimes you meet lots of assholes, and sometimes you meet lots of annoying cleaners, and sometimes you meet cool people, just like life. So it's just kind of been an interesting new lens to appreciate life.
Great.
How long have you lived in New York?
Like 8 years this summer.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think, because I always say to like people up here, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been here a few years. I'm like, no, I've been here kind of a while.
Do you feel more like you're a New Yorker, or do you still have like very strong Texas roots in your personality?
No. I definitely think I'll what can I say? The Texas public education system got to me. All this Texas Pledge of Allegiance has got to me.
Your program.
Yeah, because I think I see a Whataburger cup that you're drinking out of.
I was going to ask that when you pulled that out.
This is my Astros refillable large.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's go Stros. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Yeah, no. So I was born a Texan. I'll die a Texan. But that being said, I do. I like New York a lot. I love New York. They say, your 10th year in New York, that's when you become a real New Yorker. Well, that's what other people who are transplants in New York say. And yeah, like I love it here and want to stay here for probably the foreseeable future, probably unless anything else comes my way. But I do, like I said, yeah, I really think of myself as a Texan, always first.
Yeah,
for better or worse.
Yeah,
cool. So another question I want to ask is, you've come to visit, once a year, maybe twice a year. You've been around, and I assume you've traveled. I know you have traveled for work in the past. Have you gone to like gay party scenes in other cities? And if so, how do they compare to New York?
Good question. Have I?
Because when you come down here, you pretty much only hang out with me or her cousin Andrew. And I know if it's Andrew, but I don't think he wants to go to South Beach.
Actually, not a ton of non-New York parties. This past holiday season over Christmas and New Year's, I went to the UK. And that's another nice thing about being a grown-up and learning new things about yourself is that, like we never traveled, Connor can attest this, we never really traveled internationally, except for somebody who went to Germany when they were
You
like 9.
Studied abroad in Japan, so shut the fuck up.
Children.
Which I worked 2.5 years to pay for at McDonald's. So, yes. But... No, yeah, but that being said, yeah, we didn't like do any big travel plans or anything. Usually when we had vacations, it was to go see like the other parent, because we both have divorced parents.
Yeah.
And about 5 years ago or so, I went to Europe for the first time. I took like a big several weeks off of work and just kind of explored a bit. And I've done that a couple of times since then, but it's usually been with friends or going to like visit friends from school. And most of them, probably all of them, I think are all straight, unless I'm missing somebody, which they're great. I love my straight friends. And we've gone to like a couple of...
That's interesting. I say the same thing about my gay friends.
And once or twice I went to like, maybe if we were like bar hopping, we'd like go inside a club for like an hour and a half or something, but it wasn't like a really big thing. It was still very nice. And it was, we had a good time. But more recently when I was in the UK, around like the turn of the year, and New Year's, like the turn of the century.
Is that how they say it over there?
Yeah.
It looks like the year's turning.
I feel like the holiday season is such kind of it's kind of played out. I'm going with turn of the year. But no, I went to a really fun, really cool gay New Year's Eve party in London, which was at like some old Victorian dance hall from probably, I don't know, the 1880s or something. And there was like a big main room. So it wasn't, like a big Euro super club or anything. It just kind of was a more modest sized, at least had like a few hundred people inside in the main dance floor. They're like drag queens and stuff performing. And so that was really cool. And there was also like two smaller, I guess, dance rooms at this larger club. And one of them played like 80s stuff. And one of them was more like a 70s disco-y kind of smaller club within the club. And then there was the main dance floor, which was much more, contemporary stuff. But that was really cool because, you could like go wild in the main big room with friends and stuff. But also if things are starting to get a bit overwhelming, you just want to chill, grab like a beer or a drink, you could kind of hang out like in the 70s room or 80s room, and it's like a bit more laid back.
Do we have a club like that here in Houston? Like
We have the anime club with the hentai room.
No, but I mean like a multi like genre club.
We have that 80s diner on
That's not
Washington.
I mean, like what he's explaining. Like
No,
you go to one.
if
it's
we
got
do, I
rock,
don't know.
The other one's
We were
got
just talking
crap.
We were just talking about how there's a new club downtown called Cherry Bar. It's not even new at this point, but we
lesbian
both,
bar?
huh?
Is it a lesbian bar?
No, it's a Coke bar, allegedly. But I was.
Is that how they advertise themselves?
Well, the bathroom does have like
Kinda.
a little area designated for doing Coke off a mirror.
Yeah, let me pull
Yeah.
up this old Instagram.
But so I was working the door at a bar down the block, and I would just look at the line and be like, "That's not for me," and not even like, that's not my thing." It's like I would walk up to the door and they're like, "Nah, man,
Wait,
you can't."
where's the bathrooms? That's the funniest part of this.
They
place.
probably took it off because it was so incriminating.
Wait, cherry.
Oh, and their
bar
urinals are
bathroom.
big old lips.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Ugh,
Oh, that
God.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the urinal. I guess we can't find a mirror. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just, yeah, we don't know the club scene down here at all. Maybe
I don't
you
know
do.
the club scene down there either.
Yeah.
Next time I go down, we should find out. We should explore.
Let's go
Okay.
clubbing next time you're in town. I would love to.
Why don't we go to PJ's? They really need our support. They're a nice little local place.
We can freak him at PJs.
We could throw a rave at PJ's. He does.
he'd
need
probably
people
let
there.
us.
Just upstairs.
So I did want to ask, we do have a game we want to play with you, but before we get into that, my final question is going to be, keeping in mind that we have family members who may or may not be watching the show, but what is the craziest thing you've seen at a New York gay theme party? Or any New York party. It doesn't have to be a gay party.
Well, pretty much all the gay ones. I pretty much just go to the gay ones.
Okay.
Not exclusive. I've been to a couple of non-gay parties. God, well, well, I can think of plenty of crazy things that I don't know if I would feel comfortable saying on air.
I don't think so. I saw a lot of our family members suddenly got Twitch accounts today. So, like, oh wow.
Let's see, craziest one within the realm of respectability. Craziest example.
We can also avoid this
yeah,
question.
we can skip the question if it's
if you don't want to
too
talk about
racy.
it.
We do have a game to play, so we
It's
got-
like, I can think of about 7 answers to that. Just think of the most like vulgar thing you can possibly imagine, and it's probably happened at a gay club in New York.
Oh, you didn't wear shoes in the club?
Everyone at the club turned and said the aristocrats at the end.
But that being said, it's in like I said, I don't want to come across as like an expert on all of this, because there's one thing you learn about once you're in your 30s and stuff, you're like, oh, there's plenty of stuff that I thought I knew about that I really don't know about. There's like so many more places that like, I've never been, and so many more edgier, hardcore places that I'm like, God, that must be really crazy.
Nathan, I'm sorry to interrupt. You might think this is cute, but our aunt just wrote in the chat, I'm turning my volume down now.
Well, that's very nice of her. Don't worry, I'll tell you in person later.
Yeah, do you have plans to come into town anytime soon? We could talk about that off air if you don't want to.
Yeah, let's save the plugs for the end. No.
You've been doxxed twice. I don't know if you want to talk about your travel plans.
No, I should. There's my perpetual Catholic guilt is always hanging over me because so very short explainer. So my dad lives in Texas. My dad and Connor's mom are been married for years. And so Texas is home. But my mom and her husband, they live in California, and they've been in California since I was about 11 or 12. So it's always been kind of annoying because do like one trip to visit like one, I always feel kind of like guilty if I don't visit the other, which is also kind of conveniently also an excuse to be like, well, I can't visit anybody now.
You just said every coast. I can't go there.
My dad lives in the Woodlands and my mom lives in Galveston. It's a nightmare for me at Thanksgiving. So I usually just tell them like, I'm going to them, and then I stay home.
Yeah,
I figured that out.
My parents don't live in my neighborhood, so I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I guess we could turn into the game now.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Nathan, You are, I'll say it, probably one of the smartest people I know. You know so much about U.S. history. You're one of the only people I know who's been reading Robert Caro's Path to Power books on LBJ, a insurmountable feat. Has he finished it? Has he released his final book?
No, he's which I'm worried about because he's like 88 years old, and he says he wants to go to Vietnam for research and for 6 months. I'm like, Robert, I don't know if you can. I don't know if that's good for you, man.
Maybe Robert Sanderson will help him write the final one, like he did the Wheel of Time books after that guy died. But you know your American history. Looking at your bookshelf, I can see all kinds of things that vaguely look like presidents and history. I see 2 copies of Gotham.
Yeah, what's up?
Boy, you really like that's a history of New York City, right?
Well, one is I haven't read the second one. This is the main Gotham, like New York City up into the 1890s, and this is the sequel, which I haven't read yet, which is like New York City from like 1890 to like 1920 or something.
Whoa.
1919. I haven't started that one yet.
Damn.
It's very interesting. I've learned a lot about.
I'm not judging. I bet. I read too. Like I don't judge anyone for what they're reading, as long as it's not
like
self-published
or something.
No, I'm reading that We Own This City, the new HBO David Simon series. I'm reading the book that it's based on, and it's phenomenal. Very good.
Have you watched the show yet?
I'm holding off. Ned and I are gonna watch it. I'm having him watch The Wire for the first time. Again, I'm just like. I'm such a David Simon geek. I'm like, we're gonna watch this one soon. Is it good?
This is very. Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but this is very embarrassing. I started The Wire 2 years ago, and I got like 5 episodes in, and I was like, God, this is so boring. And I know everybody loves it, and I'm sure it's amazing, and I'm sure I will finish it. But there's a lot of. I did a big prestige TV watch things that I missed. Like I watched The Sopranos for the first time like a couple years ago.
Yeah, right when the pandemic started, I started Sopranos. I was like, well, if I'm ever going to do this, it fucking ruled. The Wire, I also, like 5 episodes in, I was definitely like, I don't know if I want to fucking do this. But Connor was like very excited to show it to me. Yeah. Once you,
I'm sure it's amazing. Everybody I know that's seen it is like, this is an amazing show. So I'm sure it's very amazing.
It picks up. I'll say that.
Yeah. It's. I too took multiple attempts to finish it the first time, and I'm glad I did. But anyway. So we have a game where I'm going to read you nicknames of former U.S. presidents, and we're going to see if you can pair them up with the commander-in-chief that they belong to, and a game we like to call Presidepithets. It took us a while to come up with that one.
It's a good one.
You like the name,
it's actually
right?
very clever.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you. Well, now, you foolishly...
Wait, what do I get if I win?
I'll buy you a beer. You know what? I'll buy you a beer at a gay club in Houston next time you come down.
You heard there's witnesses to that.
Yes.
This is, set in stone.
All right. You foolishly told me that you are not up to date on your presidents between 1812 and the U.S. Civil War, so I'm not going to pull too many from there, but I will give a few. All right. First up, let's go with. There's some good ones on here. Wait, we saw preacher president.
Preacher president.
Preacher president.
I'm sure how commonplace was this nickname? This is me filibustering. How commonplace was this nickname? I'm sure somebody said somebody's a preacher president multiple times. Was this like was this like a common thing? How common was this nickname?
Not common. In fact, it only belonged to one president.
Actually, wait, this president has 2 nicknames. I think
they had 2 nicknames. I'll give you the other one. I'll give you the other one. Boatman Jim.
Oh. Is it James Buchanan?
No, it's James Garfield. All right.
I went for James. Was he famously pious?
Yeah, it doesn't really give an explanation on these nicknames.
He joined the Church of Christ. So he probably was like talking about that a lot. I don't know.
Sounds legit.
Next question.
Hey, that was cited on National Geographic Society, so I'll have you know. All right. Let's see if I can get you. All right. The Red Fox of Kinderhook.
Ooh.
Ooh. That one, I actually feel like I should know. I actually think I've heard it. Kinderhook is Kinderhook in New York?
It
The
is.
Red Fox.
It's in Columbia County.
I'm trying to. I want to say Teddy Roosevelt because that seems like in some old timey name.
I can give you.
Give a few names.
Not Teddy Roosevelt. Then
there is the Little Magician.
Oh, Martin Van Buren.
Yes. I also could have done this. The Van Buren boys from Seinfeld.
Wait, where did he get the Little Magician? What is that?
Given to him during his time in the state of New York because of his smooth politics and short stature.
Yeah, he basically created the modern political party apparatus that has dominated American politics for the past 200 years. So, yeah, that's where he got that name.
Now, this one, you're familiar with Old Hickory, but let's see if you know Young Hickory of the Granite Hills.
Young Hickory. So, Old Hickory's Andrew Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Young Hickory must have been somebody that was Jacksonian in their politics. And
I'll say more military deeds instead of politics.
Oh, must have been. I'm trying to think if that sounds like somebody. So I'm gonna say it was somebody who fought in the Mexican-American War, maybe.
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Because they were still kind of enthralled with Jackson, going through Jacksonian nostalgia by then, 20 or 30 years later. Granite Hills.
There's a second
Taylor.
No.
Second nickname that we should give.
It's Handsome Frank.
Ooh.
He's widely considered to be the hottest president in American history.
Oh yeah, it's I know who this is. It's the hot one. He's got the black curly hair.
Yep, kind of looks like me.
Oh, whoa, he is hot.
God, he was probably like 1852, 1856. Handsome Frank was his nickname.
Handsome Frank.
That wasn't Millard Fillmore, was it?
No, it was Franklin Pierce.
See, again, all these.
All right, we'll move out of that part
Certified
that
fox.
you don't know. Let's move into a little further on the century here. Let's go.
Making me look like a moron.
Hey, that's what the show's all about.
All right.
This is why I'm throwing in all this other random trivia about Martin Van Buren and the Mexican-American War, because I'm like, I have to prove to these people that I know things.
It's all, let's see. How about the peanut farmer?
Well, that's not really a nickname. That's more of an accurate description of what his job was. But
Okay, how
Jimmy
about
Carter?
the one-termin peanut farmer?
But I believe that was a short-lived nickname on King of the Hill's Christmas episode where Jimmy Carter made an appearance. But
Yes.
I only found out years later it wasn't the actual Jimmy Carter who voiced the character.
No, it was not.
Just like I also thought George H.W. Bush voiced himself on The Simpsons for several years. Turns out he did not.
Oh, I thought he did too.
No,
Shit.
they hated it. A fun fact about that episode, they made it because the Bushes were so critical of The Simpsons. And when they prank George H.W. Bush and ring his doorbell, and he looks out the people, and they say, "It's your sons, Jeb Bush and George Bush Jr." The writers didn't know George W. Bush existed, and they're just like, whatever, George Bush Jr. is a dumb name that these people would have. And then he became the president. Well,
Some
the next
Texas
one,
Rangers manager at the time.
the next one I was going to do was Poppy, but I think you can figure that one out. George H.W. Bush.
Famous heroin addict Benjamin Harrison.
Yeah.
Poppy.
All right, I'm going back a little bit more. Well, this one's actually pretty. His fraudulency.
That could. It's
But yeah, I'll admit.
Frequently.
I'll admit, because the other one is Rutherford, and I think
Rutherford.
Well,
Rutherford.
that's actually a pretty good nickname. I mean, well, it's a bad nickname if you our Rutherford B. Hayes, but
Not one you want, but yeah.
It's funny. I'm looking under Joe Biden, and it's got Amtrak Joe, Diamond Joe, Sleepy Joe, but no Brandon anywhere to be seen. We have O'Bungler under Barack Obama.
These aren't nicknames. I mean,
No, they're not.
Just because somebody on a talk radio show sometime said some name. I don't know.
Okay, well, how about the comeback kid?
No, that's Bill Clinton.
Yes.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
This one's pretty easy. The Gipper.
Oh. Old Ronnie Reagan.
Yeah. Also called the Teflon president, which is funny because they tried to give a Teflon Don to Trump as well. And
it didn't really stick as well because he was too Teflon.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. I want to give you one more, but I don't know if I should go. I'll go with pre-1812. Let's see if you know any about our founding fathers. This one might be kind of tough.
Okay.
The last cocked hat.
Oh, God. I don't know. Actually, maybe I do know that. It's either Madison or Monroe. Because one of them was the last one to wear, like, colonial style outfits.
That's exactly why they're called the last cocked hat.
So, I'm going to say Monroe.
That's correct! Yay! He was also known as the Era of Good Feelings president.
I know.
Oh, okay. Well, our audience might not have known.
I know.
Hang on. Our Ann has a census question. What show was banned at Grandpa's nursing home because it angered up the residents' blood?
Actually, that's a good one. Probably like not Wheel of Fortune. It's probably some like very anodyne show that was popular in 1993. Matlock? No.
I don't know.
I don't think it's Matlock.
No, because they did watch that.
Yeah.
Now Ann Aaron
like
got it
viciously
off.
Googling Simpsons trivia.
Oh, I think this is a trick question. From the episode The Old Man and the Lisa, it's actually the newspapers aren't allowed because they boil up the blood.
I'm getting Fox News from the chat.
Correct, Glenard. Oh.
See, that's Ann Aaron trying to throw us a curveball.
Dang. Well.
She knows her trivia.
That's true. Yeah, sorry, we're not allowed to read newspapers. They angry up the blood. You, the troublemaking girl.
Oh, that was the one where she helped Mr. Burns make that big
The
recycling plant that killed all the ocean animals.
Yeah. Yes. Great one. Yeah, it's a good episode. Well,
I think you won the game.
yeah, I'd say you won
I
the
don't
game.
think so. I think I lost the game.
You got one of them right. I think that's
He
that's
got
a
like
win.
2 or 3,
You
right?
got 2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Like
good.
4 or 5.
Connor has
We
to buy you a
don't
drink.
we don't keep track of this shit. I'll just buy you a drink anyway. But we're going to a redneck honky tonk bar.
Yeah,
Those
Firehouse
is a gay
Saloon.
redneck honky tonk bar.
I know we have one, so we can
Do
find
we?
one.
Where do we get that?
I don't know.
We
I've
go to
heard
gay
I've
honky
heard
tonk.
tell
That
of
sounds
it,
fun.
or people
heard
are lying
tell
to
of
me. I don't know.
You know, we have a gay country bar up here in Hell's Kitchen. It's all the other gays. It's a very street friendly gay bar. They have the bartenders go out and like dance and do like square dancing and line dancing on the bar like every 15 or 30 minutes.
Didn't you
So, like,
post something to that to Instagram recently?
I post something like whenever I'm drunk and go to Flaming Saddles. That's what it's called. I usually post it because I'm like, this is amazing. And then later I'm like, oh, I was drunk.
Whoops.
But it is pretty cool. I like it. I defend Flaming Saddles.
No, it sounds great. I would. Not enough of my bartenders dance. I'll say that. No, that's it.
And then they dance pretty well. So if you're in New York, go to Flaming Saddles.
All right. Somebody said Neon Boots. Maybe Neon Boots is the name of the gay honky tonk in Houston. Neon Boots Houston.
That's a good name for a
It
gay
is.
It's on Saloon.
It's in Hempstead.
Hempstead has a gay bar? Wow.
Texas has changed, Nathan.
Hempstead has a population of what, like 4,000 people?
I don't know.
This website.
I'll be honest. I thought Hempstead was a street up until
It
just
is.
now.
That's why it's called the street, because it goes to Hempstead.
Oh, okay. All right. I've been dragging this out long enough. Nathan, we have a song that we do at the end. We got to do this real quick. Let's do it. I'm sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I want a new plug. Tell us what's going on. Tell us all the stuff you're doing after he sings this song. Nathan, what? Do you have anything you would like to plug?
Thought about that. I should have spent more time thinking about this instead of presidential trivia.
Any presidents you want to plug?
No, I almost fell into that wormhole. I could think of some presidents that deserve plugging. Zachary Taylor, he's really interesting. Whig, he didn't live too long, but and he doesn't get enough credit, but like he had some good ideas. Anyway, but Zachary Taylor, he's fine. No, I'm not working on any projects right now or anything, but I do freelance and write up here about politics and stuff. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Nate McDermott, all one word, NATEMCDERMOTT, and I update my new pieces and stuff on there. And yeah,
cool. Right on.
Speaking of presidential trivia, have you listened to Matt Christman's Hell of Presidents yet?
Ooh, no, I have not.
But
I'm familiar with Matt and his work, so
yeah, man, I'm really
What's it
excited. He just goes through every single president, and it's kind of a conversation. It's him and Chris Wade, and they're just talking about like who shaped each other more, the man in the office or the office in the man, and everyone's impact on it. And it talks a lot. I just learned a lot of stuff that I feel is like, oh, it's so inconsequential, so long ago, but they kind of give context to like we are still in this today. Like when you were talking about Martin Van Buren forming the two-party system, they talked a lot about that and his motivation to do so. And it's funny, and it's got good audio editing. So
cool. And I can't plug anything of my own, but Matt Christman, great podcast.
Yes.
I'll plug Matt Christman's podcast.
Hell yes. Awesome. Yes. Yes. Finally. I knew you and I both agree on some of the Chapo hosts, and it always makes me happy that you like Matt Christman too.
All right, he's the best one because he's the saddest.
It was when we saw him in New Orleans. He did Trip and Fall, and the whole audience just like gasped and cheered when he got up. And me and my buddy were like, "Oh no, not Matt! Nothing bad can happen to Matt." All right, Ned, do you have anything to plug? I know there's a swimwear show coming up.
Yeah, this Friday. Oh shit, that flyer's huge.
Should have resized.
This Friday, I'll be playing at Continental Club with Angelo Moore and the Brand New Step. If you guys recognize the name Angelo Moore, that's the singer of Fishbone. Real wild guy. It's going to be a really fun show, so come out to that.
All right, and all I really have to plug is just a reminder, June 9th will be the next NeoBenchy. We'll be talking about it. We'll be posting about it, booking people now. If you want to get involved in NeoBenchy, go ahead and send an email to neobenchy.tv@gmail.com, and one of us will get to you and hopefully get you booked on the show.
And go ahead and follow at neobenchy.tv on the Instagram, or do we have Twitter? We don't have Twitter.
We don't have Twitter.
Don't do that.
All right. Well, Nathan, any final words for our audience?
No, I'll be honest. The last 30 seconds while y'all were plugging your things, I kept trying to think of a vulgar yet respectable thing I saw at a party, and I couldn't come up with anything. So I'm sorry. But no, thank you so much for having me. This was a blast, and yeah, I was very happy when you reached out and asked if I'd be interested because I was and I am. And even though I feel I didn't live up to the hype for my presidential trivia, that's what I get for telling you that I don't know a lot about the 1812 to 1848 era.
You fell right into the trap.
I was originally, I was like, I think he'll know everything that I can pull from. And then you gave me one error. I was like, ha, 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 ha. It was all going to be JFK and LBJ. All right. Well, that's our show. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.